Kita sudah live sepertinya nih. Aduh, bentar. Sambil nunggu azan. Halo guys. Ini ada yang aneh dengan YouTube gue. Kenapa gue tidak bisa melihat live gue sendiri? Halo. I cannot hear you.
Perfect. Now you can hear me, right?
Now I can hear you.
Great. I just need to figure out the whole Zoom thing.
Hello.
How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I love the setup with all the lights and the neon. It's very, very stylish.
It shows me that I have nothing to do at home.
I'm just here on my couch. Like, I didn't put any effort into this here, but you just put out all the lights.
No, it's okay.
Wow,
okay, so
cool.
well, I think there's some kind of problem with my YouTube.
Really?
Now it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Now it's fine. So
thank you so much for having me, man. I'm very honored. I saw who your last guests were, and I was like, wow, why does he want me?
So it's because last time I got invited with the Indonesian magicians, and they call themselves as metal kids. So basically, in Indonesia, it's like the magicians who love coins so much, and then and then they make a community. So if I translate it in English, it means like metal kids.
Oh,
so I mean,
like like metal DVDs.
Yeah, they work with metal. So and then we had a talk, and then suddenly I asked them if I can invite some guests that related with coins. So who's the one that you want me to be in the magic corner? And then they said Eric Jones and also you. And I was like, okay.
Really? Like, it seems like Eric Jones and then this guy.
No. I mean, I saw your videos. I mean, I think it's back then when you don't have social media, I think.
Oh yeah, when I didn't have Instagram and everything.
Yeah. How old are you back then? When I think that when all the magicians post a picture with you or a video with you?
I think that I was 13 or 14, something like that.
When you have long hair?
Yes, long hair, a little more chubby, smaller.
Yeah, but I really love how you do your routine with coins. I mean, it's very amazing. At that times, like in my mind was like, God damn, that kid is so amazing because you're so small, and then you can do like the smoothest sleight of hand I ever saw.
Oh, thank you so much, man.
And then suddenly, I don't know. I don't know. Suddenly you have Instagram, and then and I thought that you're going to post another video with coins, and then it turns out cards.
Yeah, I don't really know how that happened. It was just like at some point, because the coin magic is very interesting, right? Because the methods are very simple at their core, right? It's just like hiding coins in different places and using a bad language to suggest there are different places and stuff. and it's incredibly complex, like in regards to like miming and like small details and eyes and everything. But you know, at their core, it's pretty simple. So at some point, I just decided, you know, I'll just like focus more on cards now, because there are just like so many more possibilities method-wise, right?
Yeah.
So I really, when I first started getting into cards, I was like very much fascinated by all of the methods that differentiated from coin magic, right? It's like mathematical principles and stacks and memorized decks, and stuff, because that was like something I just didn't have with coin magic. But yeah, I love them both, but I just felt like I needed change. So right now my main thing is cards, but you know, it may change. I'm so young still. Maybe next year I start thinking up like doves, you know.
learn everything.
Yeah, exactly. That was sort of the goal.
So, and then I also found out that some of your videos on your Instagram that doing cards is also as amazing as when you do coins.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, it's like the how smooth you are. I mean, I think it's already in you, the way you do something, whether it's coin or card tricks. You prefer to do it very slow and it's very smooth. Is it like your style?
That is the goal. I appreciate it that it seems that way. Yeah, I definitely like want to go for the slow, smooth style. And I found that with card magic, I feel like it's much harder to showcase on platforms like Instagram, right? Because the methods are more complex, and also they most card tricks like require more investment from the spectators, right? So it's not just like you just have to watch and then just like weird stuff happens, but like with a card trick, it's like, oh, you have to remember one and you have to remember the positions and oh, what card's on top, what card's in the middle. It's like it tends to be a little bit more complex. So I'm still very unsure about how I want to do, how I want to use social media in the future. Because I was never like posting every day. It's just like an occasional thing. But I'm a little bit unsure always, like how I should use the platform, because I feel like a lot of the videos that you see are just like showcasing moves, right? And it's oftentimes I feel like a little bit misleading, especially to younger musicians, the way it's showcased, right? Because like all the attention is on the pass, you know. It's like the whole video is like the person's here and then they roll up their sleeves and then they get the deck and then it's like all for this moment, you know. And that's like in performance, that is obviously not how it's meant to be, you know. It's supposed to be like pass and then roll up your sleeves in preparation for doing a magical gesture or something. Right. So it's not, I don't think there's like anything like wrong with people who do that. I don't have any problem with that. And there are some people who just like do it incredibly cleanly and I'm very impressed always. But I don't think that's how I want to use the platform. So I'm still always like juggling what I would like to do.
Yeah, but still for me it's like amazing. Still amazing. So wait, I think there's something wrong with my YouTube. So
okay.
Suddenly, wait, just give it like a couple seconds before, because I think it's supposed to be streaming with the one that I already posted, saying I'll be performing with you, and then suddenly it's airing in Eric Jones' part. I don't know. Mixed up. Yeah. Wait. Hopefully
I'll
now
go to
it's
the YouTube
okay.
channel with my phone and check out how it looks.
Yeah, because I don't know what's happened.
Oh, I think it shows up fine. So for me on my phone, it looks right.
Yeah, but then again, if you see it, it says in the picture, the thumbnail, it's Eric Jones.
Oh, not for me. For me, it looks like right. So I think it may just be showing up wrong for you. I don't know.
Yeah, but then okay, but now they're all here.
Yeah,
Wait.
I don't have any problem with being confused with Eric Jones. Like,
okay, I'm going to say hi to the Indonesian magician first, and
yes.
then using bahasa. Okay.
Oh, great.
Hey, hello guys. Kenapa suaranya mantul? Mantul gimana nih? Kasih tahu. Gue soalnya pakai sesuatu yang berbeda nih. Wait, sebentar ya. Gue cek dulu. Harusnya sih nggak ada masalah ya. So ya, hari ini gue live bersama Moritz Mueller. So, kalau yang belum tahu, dia dulu jago banget sama koin. Jadi pertama kali gue ngelihat dia masih kecil, ya, so small at that time. Ya, jadi gue ngelihat dia, terus udah gitu menarik banget sehingga waktu itu kemarin beberapa hari yang lalu gue bertemu dengan pesulap-pesulap di Zoom. Terus mereka pengen, terutama anak logam ya, dia pengen untuk coba ada nggak orang yang pesulap yang best in coin supaya bisa diundang dan juga bisa ngobrol gitu. Dan akhirnya ini saya undang Moritz Mueller. So here you go, Moritz Mueller, everyone.
Yes, I completely agree with everything you said. I just got like, Moritz, Zoom, coin.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I just greeting them, saying that basically the thing that I said before, that I saw you on social media when you were small, and then you do a lot of amazing stuff using coins. And then the reason why I'm inviting you, because last time I had a conversation with the community, especially with coin magic community, and they say they want to have a magician that basically do coins. And then I invite Eric Jones yesterday, and now I'm inviting you.
Great. So thank you, Metal Kids, for getting involved.
Okay, so Moritz, when is the first time it's like I want to learn magic? So when is the first time you learn magic?
So I think so. The first time was actually very young, when I was in kindergarten, because a friend of mine just sort of got this magic kit, and we just like sort of started toying with it, but nothing like serious. Because magic was always sort of around for me, because my dad is a magician as well. But then when I was 12, like I really got into it. Like I was just like, when I was 12, it was my 12th birthday party, and my dad showed something to some of my friends. And in that moment, because like to me it was always normal, right? But then the first time I like saw it through the eyes of someone else, right? Then I just sort of really got into it, and yeah, I've just been obsessed with it ever since.
But the first tricks that you ever learned, is it coin or cards?
I think the first trick I learned was rubber band like penetration, but like the first thing I really got serious about was coins. Because I was just fascinated, because I wanted to learn the French drop, and my dad showed me the French drop, and I was just like fascinated by how many subtleties go into it. Right, so I'd be in front of the mirror, and then at first I was like this, you know, and it was gone, and I was like, okay, but like how can you make it better? And then I've just fell in love with all the subtleties, you know, because obviously it's better if you start like leaning towards your left, and then lean towards your right, right? Sort of makes it more understandable what's the motion of the coin, and then it made it better also when I just like look at you while I do the transfer, you know. And
rather than just like rather than your left hand just doing nothing, and then just pause.
Exactly, and it's not like stiff here, but then it drops naturally, and then if I'm standing, it like swings a little, you know. It's just like all these subtleties. And they just made it so much better so quickly, and that was just like very rewarding, you know. It's like you just like tweak a little thing and it makes it so much better, and another little thing and it's so much better, and it's just like a great process, you know. And like I just love thinking about these sort of like small things that just like end up making it better in the end. So yeah, it was probably like the first thing I got really serious about was coins.
So and then you just like focusing on coin, and then suddenly probably like you start learning others than coin is when you are like 15 or 16.
I think I started focusing more on coins when I was 16, 17. On cards, I mean, sorry. Yeah, I think that was sort of the time. And I got, because I also got much more into books and reading from magic books, and there were just so much more books on card magic than coin magic that it sort of naturally was like pushed into that direction.
So is there any your favorite one until you were like so obsessed with coin?
You mean a favorite trick or a favorite book, or
whether like is it like both coins, routine, tricks, books? Is it because sometimes it's like this? I have something that very interests me so much, so I look for it and the book and then the tricks. Then what about you?
Yes, I think there are like so many great coin effects. And I was very much fascinated by wild coin when I first saw it, the David Roth routine.
Yes.
Where the coin changed into the silver coin one by one, and then they all changed back. That's like one of my favorites. And then also just like Three Fly was just like when I first saw it, it just blew my mind, you know, because it's so simple. It's such a straight idea, you know. Yeah, so when I first got Chris Kenner's Out of Control, and I just started like looking at the Three Fly, it was so nice. Like, it's such a visual routine. Yeah, so those are probably like, as far as coins are concerned, like some of the routines that I'm very fascinated with.
So, and then I don't know whether you or someone else who started, because I saw you doing you did like the coin, and then I thought that, oh yeah, probably he's putting in this hand, and suddenly you're like, I was like, oh, shit, where the coin goes. Wow. Yeah. I mean, you just like create the routine by yourself?
So I would say I never really create by myself. You know, there's always influences that come in and out of it. And when I, for example, started working on my one coin routine, or it's just like a bunch of stuff like you're describing, just one coin, there were a lot of different sources that I really enjoyed. There was a Japanese magician called Ryuka, who really influenced me on that. And I saw some of his videos and I was just like obsessed with it for a while. And yeah, there were always different influences, but I would say in general, I just sort of took what I liked from different parts. And sometimes when you just take this part from that thing and this part from that thing, and you combine it, it just like makes a whole new thing instantly, you know? Yeah, so that is always very fascinating for me, just like to grab from different sources and then just come up with something of my own. But what you're describing with the like two hands empty is actually an interesting point, because you know, with coin magic, like after a while, well, especially as a magician, you just like get the hang of it, you know. Oh, okay, it's never where I think it is, you know, as a simple solution. So then when you start getting into stuff like lapping or sleeving or things like that, it can just like really take it to a different level.
I want to know your creative process in making a routine. I mean, you just like write it and then, okay, I want to like this, or you already have it in your mind and then you imagine and then you try to create your own thing so it suits you.
So most of the time I have like a rough idea and sort of just like a fascination for a certain plot or a certain idea, you know. For example, right now what I'm really obsessed with is twisting the aces, right? So I'm just always thinking, you know, okay, I sort of have like a fascination for this effect, but what do I like about it? So I just like try to get to the core of my taste, you know, just like trying to figure out, okay, what exactly do I like and what stuff don't I like, you know? And that is sort of, I don't really, some people say that they just sort of sit there and then just like an idea just like comes to them and like, oh, that's a great idea. But it never really happened that way for me. It was always like a very conscious process for me. So I would just like be sitting there and thinking, okay, what could be better about twisting the aces, or what is already great about twisting the aces? And I just like try to find out like the core of what I like. And I think that's probably, I think the most difficult thing to like understand what you like about something, right? Because I oftentimes see magicians where I think, oh, why do they perform that trick? You know, it seems like very procedural. It seems like a little bit weird. And I think that can be like drastically improved when you just really think about, what do I like about it? Why am I doing this? You know, and I think that makes it better for two reasons, right? Because one, you'll just be able to construct it better. You know, if you say, wow, what I really like about this trick is that they can shuffle, right? And then I think you will be able to just like translate that to your audience much better, right? Because when you really understand, I like that they can shuffle, you know, then you can just like, I think it changes the way you present it a lot when you just start understanding what you like, because you might just do a trick and you, okay, they shuffle in the beginning, and then you think, oh, what's really amazing about this trick is that they can shuffle. And then it's like, look, it's really important from the beginning, you shuffle, and always in the end, I want to remember, you shuffle the decks, there's nothing I could know, right? So I think that's very important, like for presentation reasons. But the other point I think it's important for is just like changing things about it. So when you start thinking about a routine, you say, oh, okay, this is the part I like only this part. And like, oh, why do I do all that other stuff then? You know, why not just like strip all of that away and just focus on the one part that I like?
So it's like just a little bit modification about the text that you already like, and then you give it like some of you in the routine, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
But sometimes I'm very surprised like where it ends up, you know, because like even when you start like just like modifying like one particular trick, you might end up with something completely different, right? For example, twisting the aces, though, I'm just like the thing I'm working on at the moment, and yeah, like the point where it is now, it really isn't twisting the aces anymore. It's like a very different, it's like the ace problem / multiple selection type routine, and it's very, it can like end up in very different places than you might expect.
So is it now the twisting the ace already finished? I mean, or is it still in working?
You know, the problem is that I feel like there are always two parts to making a routine work. You know, there's like the part where you just like sit at your desk and you think, right? And then there's the part where you go out and perform it, you know, and then you go home and then you think about it again, and then you try something else next time. And then I feel like that's the best way to sort of work on routines. But the problem with the whole Corona situation is that the performing part is just not there, right? Because I used to, when there's not Corona, I used to have a restaurant gig, like every week I would go to a restaurant and just like perform there. And that was really, really good for me, because I would just like think about a routine. No, I want to change this. And then just like next week, I just try it like many different ways. At every table, I do something a little bit different. And then I would go home and I would have like an exact idea of what I want to improve, what I think works well, what doesn't. So I wouldn't say it's finished just because I haven't done the performing part enough. But you know, it's like coming to a point where I'm like, yeah, I think there's something there, you know.
So it's like as the method is on its process to finish, but for a performance you haven't tested yet. More or less like that.
And also the presentation part is so hard sometimes, because when you think about what you want to say, and then you just like write it down or something, and then when you say it, you can just like feel it when you just like start looking at your audience. Oh, they're not interested in this part. They're still like a flow right now. This is not giving them new information. This is not interesting. And at some point you might find out, oh, they have questions about it. Like they're looking at me really like, oh, I need to explain this part more, you know. So there's really, I would say that part is not even close to finished. You know, I would need to perform it sometime. So let's just hope that we can get back to performing as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, we all like, I kind of like miss interacting with audience, and also miss performing on stage. Yeah, you know, because we performer, we do love to interact with people. We do love to sharing and showing it to like some layman. But yeah, hopefully everything will cool down and everything will settle.
Yes,
soon.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And there are some effects that you probably won't be able to do anytime soon. It's like card to
Yeah.
mouth and something.
Yeah.
It's like, look, this is for you.
It's for you. And I was like, oh no.
It's like, no, please.
Yep.
Gas mask.
Eh. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, so there's probably some things that where we need to adapt as magicians to make,
Yeah.
like in terms of hygiene, there are
Yeah.
like especially like
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
routines where you like produce something and then you have the spectator like drink it or something. It's
Yeah.
like
But
there's
I don't
some,
know, but probably me and my friend have a discussion also. So probably it kind of like a little bit going to be have like change in the habit also, especially when we do card tricks, because
yeah,
I think it affected some of the people. If when they're touching it like other props, they will like more careful like right now.
yes,
So it's like giving card in a shuffle. They probably like, no, I don't want,
yes,
because they have to clean their hands or something. Because
yes,
it really affected some of my friends and also my wife. Now she's carrying what do you call it, like hand sanitizer everywhere.
oh yes,
Every time after touching, like, is it like coins or money, she just like pour it on your hands and then clean it.
yes,
So
yeah,
it means probably in the like 1 years ahead, the habit of the people surrounding us will be a little bit changed. They will
yes.
really more careful about the thing that they're going to touch. They're going to put it in their mouth or something like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think that we will have to really sort of adapt to that. I think in like
Mm.
2 years or something, it will all have flown over and people will not really think about it that much anymore and you can start doing what you did before. But yeah, I think for the coming few months, for sure, we just need to adapt the material we do.
Yeah.
But I think it also has a lot of great opportunities because now you have a motivation for having someone say stop instead of choosing one. You know,
Yes.
it's like, like I would
Yeah.
have to choose one, but maybe you just name one, or maybe you just say stop and you
Yeah.
remember
Stay
this
stop
one.
anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of techniques that sort of require this you to handle the cards, right?
Yes.
And I think in the past that always seemed a little bit fishy, just like, oh, why don't you just like
Yeah.
have me keep one? But
Now it's more realistic and it's more
yeah,
reasonable.
yeah, now it's perfectly motivated, right? It's like
Yeah.
exactly, oh, of course I don't want to touch.
Yeah.
Or you can do a false
Oh.
shuffle. And oh, do you want to shuffle? Oh no, Corona, sorry, no, but
Yeah.
so
So
there are
yeah.
definitely opportunities in it. But
You get some, you lose some.
yes, exactly. That's a perfect way to put it.
Okay, so now I think I'm going to go to the comment section.
Oh yes, please.
Uh, so there's a question here for you from Faldi, and
Hey,
he
Fabi.
said that question to Moritz. Your one coin routine is amazing. How did you came up with the idea of one coin routine?
So I didn't come up with the idea of doing a one coin
Yeah,
routine.
I mean it's already there like since years
Yeah,
ago. I mean, like maybe like 1,000 years ago. But you
exactly.
you like I think it's not you modify it, but you perform it as your style, your own style. Maybe that's
Yes.
the correct things.
I think the main thought behind it was that I didn't like all the big finishes, like, oh, giant coin now, or
Hmm.
like flames now, because I feel like it sort of takes away a lot of the beauty of it,
Yeah.
and it's something I really learned from some stage manipulation acts,
Hmm.
right? For example, Miguel Munoz, right? He has
Hmm.
the amazing routine with the contact juggling the glass balls, and
Hmm.
his routine is so clear. It's like water, and then it turns into 4 glass balls, and then in the end they're all gone, and that's the finish.
Yeah.
And there's not like a big wow, now there's a giant ball there.
Hmm.
Because I feel like oftentimes that can like take away some of the beauty, because that's in the end that's all they remember. If you do like a
Yes.
beautiful coin routine with many like nice productions, like interesting sequences where like, oh, what, where is it? And then in the end it's just like boom, giant coin. I think
Hmm.
that's like all they will remember. So I just like try to make like a conscious effort to make it like as simplistic as possible, right? So some interesting techniques of mine I incorporate into it, but I think that's like the main idea behind creating it.
Yeah. Kiss, keep it simple and short.
Yes.
And Pato, here's Pato. Who is your magician inspiration when you make a routine?
That's an interesting question because oftentimes it depends on the routine I'm working on.
Oh,
Because there are like, I think some of my idols are definitely Hofzinser. I think he's
okay.
just amazing. Just the ideas he had, it's incredible. Then Juan Tamariz, Gaby Parejas, Arturo Dascanio, Garlingworth, also Pitt Hartling. It's like one of my
Yeah.
heroes. Yeah, and David Williamson, obviously. But it really depends. Oh, and Di Vernon, of course. So
Ah,
I can't really like say only there's one inspiration. But one of my favorite like thoughts to have is like, what would have Hofzinser done if he knew what
Hofzinsers.
we know today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously Hofzinser was a genius, right? Like he created the cull. Like that's
Yeah.
like you really gotta like that's like one of the most versatile, best card magic techniques ever, and he just like thought of it. That's like I think that's amazing
Yes,
to me.
I agree.
So obviously, and also his presentations are very good and his effects are very strong. So I often think about what would Hofzinser have done if he had as much access as we do now, right? Because when he was alive, there wasn't really that much in terms of like magic literature or like
Mm-hmm.
obviously no magic downloads or something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
for example, Erdnase was not yet
Yes.
accessible to him when he was performing. So some of the most important techniques he just didn't know, and I think it's very fascinating to just like think about. Okay, if he read that, like I just like read, if you just like read that in the mindset of Hofzinser, and then you think, okay, how would he have updated his routines, perhaps, if he knew what we know? Because we
Mm.
actually have an amazing opportunity because of the internet. I think it has good and bad parts,
Yes.
obviously. But there's just like so much access. And I feel like the good people just become better and better and better through the internet because we just have access to everything. I think the opportunity to just YouTube, just go, okay, I don't know, Pit Hartling, Quantum Maris, and just like
Mm.
instantly see videos of these people performing. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's just an amazing opportunity.
Oh, so there you go. Who's Pato? Yes, Pato. That's your answer. And then here's from Irvan. He said, when you do magic, especially in coin magic, your move is very natural. How do you handle that naturalness? Is there any tips for practicing that?
I think one thing that I think is very helpful is doing your routine without props and
Mm.
just miming it,
Mm.
and maybe recording yourself and then looking at the video afterwards. I think you very quickly see what is unnatural about it. Because what I see sometimes when people are in a JW group, for example,
Mm.
right, like this position, they just like often like freeze, right?
Yeah.
And that feels, I think when you do it, it doesn't feel wrong at first because you need to hold a coin, right? It's like, okay, you're holding something so you don't move it. But I feel like when you just like record yourself not doing it with props, but just like miming it, you will quickly see like, oh, this is not,
Yeah.
what am I doing here, Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's, I think, just like recording yourself without props, I think helps.
So it's like imagining the slide, but still miming it and pretending that you're holding the coin and then you do all the sleight of hands. Then you will realize what is like natural and what is not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think you realize very quickly
because
because
yeah, because sometimes when I saw when like not all magicians, but some of magicians in Indonesia, when they're doing coin tricks, it's like when they want to palm it, just do like this. But this hand is still in here. It's like, hey, just like put it there. I mean,
yeah,
slowly like take it down. But sometimes they just like, so in this hand, it's like stay there.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
frozen instantly. Like,
Yeah. So
yeah,
yeah,
but
I completely understand.
I think we all sort of have that like sensitivity in us, because that's something humans are very, very good at, just like seeing when patterns are interrupted, you know, because you see in your daily lives, you see a lot of people just like handling objects, you know, just like maybe you hand someone a coin at the cashier when you go to the grocery store, or you see someone just like holding their bags of groceries. And you see someone at the movie theater with the popcorn in one hand and the glass in the other, and like trying to open the door, you know. I feel like we just need to like look at ourselves without considering the moves, you know. And I think that's why it's so helpful to just do it without props, because then you won't look at, oh, am I flashing? But you will look at everything else, you know. It's not about, because you can't flash because there's nothing, but you can just like look at everything else. And I'm sure we would notice if someone else just like handled something the way we do, like right at the cashier's office, being like, okay, that's $5.50, please. Like, okay. If we saw someone else do that, we would be like, what's up
what
with
the
that?
hell? Yeah. Are you a magician?
Yeah.
And this is your like 5 cents. This is really good.
You're right.
And then
so I really feel like we all have that. We all have the sensitivity to naturalness. But we just like need to look at ourselves without the techniques. I think recording yourself in general also helps with that, because when you look at the mirror, you only see the direct feedback, you know. But when you I feel like when you look at yourself on video, you can really it sort of really feels like a different person sometimes, because when you're in the mirror, like everything obviously you do, the mirror you does also, like the mirror you also does this. And like when it's a video, it's like time delayed, so you can really look at it like it's someone else, it's not me, you know.
And this also has a question here, and why you choose coin magic?
I think I already kind of answered that. I was just like fascinated by the subtleties in it. You know, I just really loved how many different aspects play into such a simple effect, right? Like a coin vanishes, so like such a simple idea, but there's like countless methods of achieving it and countless subtleties that can help you with it. So I just like it was just like the constant improvement, because improvement in coin magic, I think, can come really quickly. It can become so much better so quickly, and that's just really addictive, you know.
And he said he asked also how can you master coin on that age? I mean, when the first time you start coin magic, because I know, because some people have difficulty because their hand are too small, and then but you are starting at that age. I think you did with like Morgan coin, is it?
Yes, I think yes. I then used the Morgan for my first videos. I used $half, but then I sort of switched to Morgans as soon as I can, because I think it's very important to use the biggest coin you possibly can, right? Because instantly it's just so much more visual. Because when you like use a big coin, it seems like when you can palm well, it seems like, oh, there's no way you could hide that. It's so big. And also, it's just more visual. Like everyone can see what you're doing, even if they're far away, they can still see a coin and then not see a coin. But it just seems so much more impossible to palm. So I think in the magic community, we sort of have this community of people who constantly tell themselves something's too hard or something's not practical. You know, like, oh, that's way too hard. And as someone, I think when I started, I just didn't know any of that. You know, I didn't really hear people making excuses like that. I didn't hear anyone say, oh, you should never, don't waste your time with that. That's too difficult. And I think in Dennis Baer's book, I think the last one, in the last chapter, like the closing thoughts, I think he mentioned a pianist who said, how did you learn all these different difficult pieces so quickly? And she was just like, oh, I just didn't know they were difficult. So I learned them very quickly and easily. And obviously that's an exaggeration, because things are still difficult regardless of whether people tell you it is. But I do think not being in touch with like a scene of people who say, oh, don't do that. Don't waste your time with that. I think that helped a lot.
So
I didn't know that hand size is like a
yeah.
factor. You know, I didn't.
You're maybe you are kind of a person that like to be challenged. Are you?
Yes, I would say so.
So when people say that, hey, this coin's too big for you, like, oh, you cannot do this with jumbo coin. Maybe after that, I'll show you later.
I will try.
I'll try. You will see. You will see.
Yes.
And also, he's Aaron Nathaniel. He's asking you about like, what is the basic skill for doing coin magic? Any source like book or something?
I think that for starting, I think if you're a book guy, I think Bobo's Modern Coin Magic is a good like general
Bobo.
source. Yes,
Bobo?
because it teaches you all the basics, I would say. And then if you also Eric Jones Metal is very good if you just like want to see it performed very well, and just like it's like a very good course, I think. All the metal DVDs, I really enjoyed those. And then after that, I think a great place to go is Richard Kaufman's Coin Magic. That's just like because it has so many different styles in there. I think because Bobo's is very much like basic techniques, like it's very all the rudimentaries and also some advanced stuff, but mostly it's like teaches you all the basics. But what I really like about Coin Magic is there are many different contributors, right? So like Jeffrey Lada contributes to other stuff, and many different performers. Michael Rubenstein contributes something, so you can really get to know many different styles and then sort of find your own way in there. Also, Michael Rubenstein is publishing a book in the next few weeks, I think, on Coin Magic. It's like more than 500 pages. It's like
wow.
It will be amazing. And I really can't wait to get my hands on that. There are also like many different coin magicians have contributed, like some of the best in the world. And I also do a small thing there, but yeah, I think that would just be amazing. It's like a very big book with a lot of material. So I cannot, without having read it, but knowing Michael Rubenstein a bit, like I'm sure it's amazing.
So do you already have like an info about what's the name of the book?
I think let me look it up. I think I know, but I don't want to say anything wrong. Let me check. Michael Rubenstein. Oh, Rubenstein Coin Magic. Very straightforward.
Rubenstein Coin Magic.
I thought that's what it was, but I didn't want to say anything wrong. But yes, that's it.
I think I'm gonna like look for that also because it's interesting.
Yes, I can't wait for it because Michael Rubenstein is one of the best, just like coin magic thinkers and performers ever. And as I said, like there are other people contributing to it, like Brandon Wolf, a friend of mine, is I think contributing, and many different just like great magicians. So I really just cannot wait to like see this work because I think as far as coin magic is concerned, there really weren't any like huge like collections in the last few years. I think this will probably be like the biggest and most important book since Richard Kaufman's Coin Magic. I think I'm very, very excited for it.
Yeah. So since we are live now, and then like maybe some of them, like half of them of the viewers are non-magicians, so I'm going to ask you in code.
Yes. Okay.
So are you prefer, I don't know, I have, so far when I saw you, all I saw was like you only use normal one. Yes. I never saw you using a turtle or like other things that you know what I mean.
Yes, I think this is actually a very interesting question because when I started, I was very much a purist. You know, no turtles, no nothing. You know, I was against it. But because I think it's very important that you get all the basics down and you can do most things without having to rely on anything just but your coins.
Yeah.
But I think when you have sort of done that, when you have like a basic foundation in coin magic, I think you can go like look and maybe get a turtle for yourself and start playing with it. I think there's nothing wrong with that. some still are a little bit too advanced for me, you know, like when it's like very complicated turtles, or like when it's like a dolphin, you know, like
Yeah.
that was the worst dolphin impression ever. Yeah. That was terrible. Someone please make a VR.
Okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I think so. Like, yeah, maybe you've seen the movie Flipper. You know, like there's like a dolphin movie Flipper. I think those are a little bit too fancy for me. Just like a little bit, because, you know, with all the plastic in the ocean, there's also some rubber in there, maybe sometimes. And I think the rubber is a little bit difficult. Like it may break or something. So I'm a little bit. That's a little bit too fancy for me. But some people use it very well. So I don't have anything against people using it. But my personal style is I only use turtle sometimes, and I sometimes use a copper coin and a silver coin together. I use those together sometimes.
So that means you are like, mostly that you choose yourself when you do coin is the mostly purist.
Mostly, yes.
Mostly purist.
But sometimes you can. What I look for when a gimmick is used is that it really makes it better. Like it really just like, gets it to a new level. Because sometimes I see people using gimmicks where I'm like, is that really even necessary here? Like it doesn't give so much of improvement that it would justify it for myself. But sometimes I feel like, especially some card gimmicks can just be amazing. For example, two faces together. I think that can just be amazing. And sometimes it can really elevate something from like a cute, nice trick, and then to just like a miracle. And I think when that is the case, you better use a gimmick. Why wouldn't you? Like the goal should be within limits. Of course, we all have our own personal like methodological tastes. But I feel like in general, the goal should be to just make it better, right? And if a gimmick just like makes it much better, then I don't see a reason for not using it if it's like sort of practical.
Agree. So and a question here from a friend of mine. So just for your information, there are some of here who's watching is from coin magic community in Indonesia. Some of them already join us.
Great.
And it's like Hadi and Andre Limantara. Andre is my friend, and he loved coin so much. He learned. When I first time I saw him, it was like probably like in 2008, yeah, almost 12 years ago. And he showed me an amazing coin routine. And now he's now developing. I mean, now he have his own matrix coin routine. If I'm mistaken, I forgot the title. I mean, international coin matrix. So he's using 4 different coins from different countries, and then suddenly it pops up back. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Indonesia, I think Andre is one of the best coin guy in Indonesia. And he asks you about after learning both coin and card magic, which one you prefer more and why?
Ooh.
It's a hard one because I saw lately all your video was about cards.
Yes. I don't know. I love them both for different reasons. But for example, when I work at the restaurant, I always open with coins. Like the opener, I always use coins just because it's so simple and very strong, and it isn't like so. There's not such a cliche about it, you know. Like when someone asks, like, "Oh, I'm the magician here. Can I show you something?" And you get out some cards. Some people will be like, "Oh God, please don't." You know. So I feel like it's good to open with something other than cards. But I feel like when you sort of establish that you're like a well-versed performer and that you're worth watching, I think right now I prefer card magic a little bit, just like slight edge, because there are just like some effects that are like so there's just like so much stuff happening, and it's just like layer on top of layer on top of layer. It can really, I think, create an impression that can sometimes exceed that of coin magic, because coin magic is always very, very simple, you know, which is what I like about it. But there isn't really a coin magic routine that's like kicker after kicker after kicker after kicker. But there are some of those routines in card magic. For example, Shuffleboard by Simon Aronson. That's just amazing. Like you shuffle any way you want, and then he just like reads out prediction, and the predictions just get like more detailed and more detailed and more detailed and more detailed.
Yes.
And in the end, people are just like, "Oh fuck, you know what? I can't even." And I think that's an impression that's hard to create with coin magic sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Makes sense.
But you can't maybe choose, man. It's like.
Yeah, but maybe so we just putting this straight. So right now, maybe you're like trying to involve or trying to get along with cards mostly. Yeah. And I saw your I don't know what when you put cards in the middle, it's like the slowest pass I ever saw.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that is so amazing.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah. So when I sort of started getting more serious about card magic, I sort of really like put my coins away for like a few months, just because they were so comfortable to me. And when you're pretty good at something like coins, you are not very good yet at something like cards. I think the temptation is very high to, especially when you're around other magicians, to like stick with what you know. It's like stick with coins because people will enjoy that. So I really sort of, for like a few months, I was like, okay, no coins for now. I'm just like, I really need to get better at cards. But now that I feel like I've reached a level where I'm satisfied with what I can do with cards. Now there's nothing. Now I can do both again.
And the thing that you posted on your Instagram, I think. Which one? Wait. I already have it before. Oh, this one.
Oh, yes.
I mean, this is, I don't know. I mean, I think that you learn a lot about angles. I mean, that is the most important thing that you did probably. You think about it like very, very deep, and you really, really thought about it. I don't know. Maybe you already was like having an experience with coins, and then you try to apply it with cards. Is it?
Yes, definitely. I think what you really learn about with coin magic is really angles, especially when you're in a position where you are just like surrounded by people. You just like really need to make sure that there's what a lot of people don't realize, that you don't really have to. Not everything needs to be cleaned from every angle. As long as you misdirect the people whose angles it's bad for. So what you can do pretty well, I think, is just like, for example, when you do a transfer like this, you just, what's important is that you keep track of the coin, and boom, and then there it goes. I think you can like do a lot more with angles than people realize sometimes. But yes, that is definitely one of the main lessons you really learn from coin magic. So that was something that just wasn't that hard for me anymore when I got more serious about cards, because I already thought so much about angles that just wasn't very difficult.
The issues,
What was is techniques like passes. That's very different from what you do in coin magic, because there are very few coin magic moves that where apparently nothing is happening. Right? Where there is, because pretty much most coin moves, I would say, do have like an outer reality. Like it's either like transferring a coin or putting it here. Most of the time it's transfers, or it's like squeezing on a coin to make a change, or it's like rubbing on it. There's always sort of an outer reality to it. But with card magic, there are some moves, like half passes or passes, where you just need to do them, and that was very difficult for me to understand at first, especially because you need to bring your hands together for most of them.
Yeah.
Because that's something you also really don't have with coin magic. You have some like hand washing sequences, which I'm not really that big of a fan of, but those also like have an outer reality. So when your hands come together, it's like for like a gesture or something. But with card magic, there's really just like moments where just like the deck just needs to be grasped with both hands, and that is very difficult, I think. And I still don't feel entirely comfortable with it, but I'm learning.
Your progress is so amazing. I mean, first I saw you coins, now with cards, and you already amazing. You did amazing with coins. I mean, you're already in the position of doing amazing with cards. So
Thank you,
I don't know what to say. You're like so damn perfect. I want to know what's in your mind.
Well, I just had a lot of free time.
Now we all have a lot of free times.
Yeah, we all have a lot of free time right now. How do you feel about that? Do you do you think your magic has improved? Have you like created a lot of new stuff while in the quarantine?
Well, basically, I start myself as learning coins. So now I have like plenty of time learning another move with coins, and
Yes.
then in my like probably like nowadays I try to learn more slate, and because before wait my sometimes in this quarantine my brain doesn't work well, so I'm sorry about this. My
All
English
good.
sometimes getting bad. Yeah, so basically in my free time, like in this quarantine time, I just like try to learn new stuff because I mostly
Yes.
perform doing an illusions.
Yes.
But before, like I mean like long time ago when I start magic, I was focusing on coins rather than cards. So
Really?
right now, when in my free time, sometimes I just like draw, and then after drawing, I just while I'm trying to imagining the illusion will be like, so I do some slate and I do like another drawing, and then do some slate again. Maybe like 2 hours a day, maybe like more or less 2 hours a day,
Great.
and just hoping that after all this over, I can make like more stuff, new illusions to perform.
Yes.
Because I'm just trying to assume that this is maybe is a time for me to take a little bit break and create a lot
Yes.
of stuff, and then after, if it's this all end and I have a new tour, I already prepared with a lot of stuff that I already wrote in my
Oh
book.
yes. Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for practice in general. Like I
Yes.
practice much more than I did before. Right now in quarantine time, and I have like some moves that I just like want to get down in this time period. But what I really do miss is performing. I think that's just like
Yeah.
one of the key,
Yes.
like especially when making routines and not working on slides, but like routines and presentations. I feel like the feedback is so important, and there just isn't any of that at the moment. But I just so right now what I want to do is get a lot of routines to 90%. Right, so I like because like usually I have a routine and I like try to get that to 100% and then I stop. I don't often work with a lot of different routines at the same time, but right now I feel like for that 100% you really are missing some feedback from the audience. So I just like try to get a lot of stuff up to 90, and then just like so that when I can perform again I can just like try everything out and get all up to up to 100. Well, let's say 97. I think nothing is ever really at 100%. Everything can be improved upon. Yeah. But yeah, that's just my plan.
Well, yeah. Now it's the best time to learn a lot and improve yourself.
Yeah.
So I mean, so basically your daily life before this corona, you use like creating some materials and then test it on your like cafe or bar, something.
Yes.
Oh, do you have like a regular place to do a
yes,
gig?
Yes, I have. I had a restaurant gig every week. Yeah, and then like some private shows in between. But magic is not my full-time thing right now, because I still go to university. I'm studying psychology, and that also obviously takes up some of my time. A little bit, just like a little, just like very little.
Psychology. If you combine it with magic, that could be perfect because you learn
exactly.
people behavior, right?
Yeah, it's actually very surprising how applicable some of the stuff I learned at university is to magic. Because at first, I think some of the reason I got into psychology and I applied to university for psychology was magic, because I really, I think the part of magic, even though I do a lot of like technical stuff, I think the psychology of it always fascinated me the most.
Yes.
So I just really enjoy the subject, but I didn't really expect it to be as helpful as it is. It's like studying psychology, because I thought, oh, it's probably something very different and just like learn about like a lot of abstract concepts, which is true, but there's some things that like just like really get your head going. So that's great.
Wow. So is there any plan to do like a stage act?
I've thought about it in the past few weeks. I don't really have a lot of stage material at the moment. But I feel like that's something I'll probably get into sometime in the future, because most of the people that I really admire, they can do everything. You know, like David Williamson is an amazing close-up performer, but a great stage guy as well. And even Guy Hollingworth, who is like primarily a close-up sleight of hand guy, he has a stage act which I just absolutely loved. I just like it blew my mind. So I don't have any doubt that I will like try to explore other things besides close-up, coin, and card magic. And also Pete Hartling is like, he's an amazing close-up guy. He does like the best, like amazingly constructed card magic, but he's also a very good stage performer. So I think there's nothing wrong with exploring different avenues. I think all you can do is profit from it, right?
So do you mind, because when I saw you from your social media, you oftenly only shows part, like effect, when you like the one that I showed you before, when you make the card from the top to under the table. It's only part of. Do you mind like showing like a routine that you've been or probably like the routine that you already mastered it, and if you don't mind showing it to us?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I would like to show you something I'm working on. Actually, it's not like the most polished thing, but I hope you will enjoy it. It's not mine. It's by John Carney, and I really it's something I'm working on at the moment, and I really do enjoy it. Get the phone out of place here. Look, I'd like to show you something with 4 cards.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have 2 black ones and 2 red ones, right? And the black ones, they're just normal, right? They're just normal cards, but the red ones aren't. The red ones follow a certain rule, and that rule is very simple. That rule is the red cards are always on top.
Okay.
And you can tell the rule applies, right? Because there they are. But no, the only way to make sure there's like actually a rule and not just something that applies in this mode is to change the situation, right? So look, if I just go like this, it should change the situation, right?
Yeah.
But as I told you, the red cards are always on top. Right? But look, let's try this one more time. Under test conditions, right? We really need to make sure, like this. But the red cards, they're always on top, right? But it's obviously important that we can repeat this, right? So they both go to the bottom, yes, but they're still on top, right? Because that's the rule. But let's see what happens when we get rid of one of the 4s. What happens? I don't know. We try with just diamonds, put that to the bottom. And yes, it comes back to that. I just wanted to make sure. But now we get to the interesting part. What happens when we just get rid of the red ones altogether? Because if the rules still apply, the red cards will be on top, right?
On top, yes.
Look, leaving just the black ones down here, and then the red ones up here.
Amazing.
Yes, that is just an interesting thing by John Carney, who I was fortunate enough to meet yeah, and he's just a great performer, and I really like this routine. I think there's very few cases where routines really sort of explore a concept in as much depth, you know, because oftentimes it's like we jump like from one random effect to the next one and stuff like that. But I really admire this one because it's like it takes this concept of the records always on top and it just like goes into different directions with that concept. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that.
That's amazing. So smooth. So, well, that's the thing that I like from you most. Everything looks so smooth.
Oh, thank you, man.
So now we go to the comment section again.
Yes.
Oh, wait. So I think there's a guy here named Dimas. He said, I have an idea for doing coin magic, but instead of using normal coin, I use transparent one like from acrylic. That sounds challenging. Have anybody tried that? And he said that please ask it to you. Does anyone ever done using acrylic?
Acrylic? Like you mean like plastic? I'm not exactly.
Yeah. Plastic but thinner. Oh no, thicker.
Oh, I have not played with that. I'm curious how it would handle, but I'm sorry, I don't really know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say in bahasa. Dimas dia nggak pernah nyoba atau nggak pernah tahu. Tapi kayaknya buat gue alasannya apa pakai akrilik tuh sebenarnya memang menarik tapi nggak ada alasannya. Yeah, I just said it to him. Using acrylic maybe sounds challenging and sounds good, but you have to have the reason why using it, right?
Oh yes, great. That's not even something I said, but I'm glad that you included something better in your translation.
Because if it's good, but there's no use or there's no reason using it, what it's used for?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a great point.
And then what is the best book to learn coin magic? I think he already answered that.
I would say Bobo's and Rich Kaufman's Coin Magic, and the new Macromancy one.
Yeah. Wait. There's a lot of questions here.
Really? Oh, it's great. Great to hear.
How many times you have appeared in the show?
Like me on stage shows?
Yeah.
I don't know, probably too much to count. Because sometimes I do like gala shows for different conventions. I do sometimes, but I don't really do stage magic there. So because what I do most of the time in gala shows is I do close-up magic, but on stage, which especially in like bigger gala shows where there's like an illusionist and like a manipulation act, I think it can like create a very interesting atmosphere to just like come out on stage with no props whatsoever, just like just like take a deck of cards out of your pocket and just like sit down at a table with a camera. I think that creates a very nice feeling. So I would say as far as like stage shows go, like stage acts, I probably only did like 3-4. But as far as like gala shows where I do like close-up stuff on stage, I don't really know the exact number.
Okay. And there's a question: do you learn cardistry too?
I do a little bit, but I'm very bad at it. I'm not very good at it. Because that's the thing about cardistry, is that it has just evolved so much. Just in the last,
it's like there's a new move. It's like there's a new move every day.
Yes, and what's also amazing is like what even like 3 years ago, like there were some like hardcore moves, and now those hardcore moves are like the basis. Like it's like everyone knows it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like it progressed so quickly, right? And that's something we don't really have in magic, just because of the whole like secrecy around it, and also because magicians aren't probably most of the time is willing to work on hard things as artists are. But that's, I think, amazing because what, like, some of the like difficult moves that like Hollingworth, for example, published in his book, they are still very hard, and not a lot of magicians can do them well. But in cardistry, it's just insane. Like, there's really like, unless you really commit yourself to learning cardistry, I think there's just like no way to keep up with these crazy guys out there. So I'm very interested in it, and I do have like 2-3 flourishes that I can do reasonably well, but I wouldn't call myself a cardist by any means.
But he can, but he's not. I think he prefer not showing it to us.
Yes, it's very bad. Like, it's not like, oh, it's so secretive and I don't want to share my information. No, it's just I'm not very good. He wouldn't know it.
Me too. Cardistry, I'm off. I cannot do cardistry because.
But I love watching it. Like,
yeah, I agree. It's so beautiful.
Blows my
but
mind sometimes. Yeah. It's just, because that's amazing. Like, they use this object that we as magicians know so well, like a deck of cards. Like, we think we know how it behaves. But we think we know how it works, you know, how it feels in our hands and what it can like do roughly. And then just like you see some cardistry videos, it's like, oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I saw like I think back then, if I'm not mistaken, like 2 or 3 years ago, it's so popular, like maybe 80% of my Instagram feed was about like cardistry, and I was like, damn, this young magician, or I mean, they're not magician, I mean, like these young kids right now can do amazing stuff that probably for me, I was like, I'm too old. I'm too old for that.
Same for me, man. I'm also
like damn.
Even though I'm still very young, I'm like, there's like
how can they can manage cards and then like flip it and throw it and then catch it again. I was like,
it's crazy.
Wow.
And some people are so young and so good at cardistry, like Aslan, for example. He's on Instagram, is like, amazing. Just like at that age to be so good at cardistry, it's crazy.
So is there any goals, like because now you're focusing on cards, so is there any goals, like maybe next year I want to learn this, or maybe next year I want to have like stage act or whatever you have? Like, do you have any goals for the next couple of years?
I have very small goals always. So I always say, oh, you know, in the next week I want to learn this, and then next week I want to learn like this other move, or want to work on this routine for the next month. But I don't really plan that much ahead. I'm not really like, oh, in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, in the next year even. I always like try to keep my goals very small, and also I try to make my goals something I can actually achieve. You know. Or like that's like in my control. Like if I learn this move, it's like in my control. But I think it can be very very hard to set yourself goals that rely on other people to achieve them. But I think if you have a goal, oh, I want to do a TV show, for example, I think it can be difficult to not lose motivation, just because it's not entirely in your control. Like at some point, it's just about like meeting the right people, getting the right connection. So I always try to keep my goals very, very like small and achievable, just to keep me motivated, right? So I never really lose like interest or motivation. How about you? Do you set yourself like big goals about new shows and new routines?
Basically, I start my big goals because I was like, it's like here, I have to have this height. I mean, my goals. So I have to achieve it. When it's not, at least I'm like near, like close to near of my goals, at least.
Yes.
That's I think that's why I'm just aiming to the highest goals.
Yes.
For instance, it's like before Corona, I'm producing my own shows for like a tour with magicians. It's called the Grandmaster of Magic. So it should be like touring around Asia, and then my goals is one day I can like tour around the world. Like these shows can tour around the world. Although maybe it's kind of hard, but at least I can tour around Asia first, and then probably America, and hopefully around the world. I'm just aiming for the highest. Yeah.
Yeah, man, keep your goals small. Like just Asia. Like, I just wanted to tour around the whole continent. It was like a small goal.
Maybe after this we can do like small talks, and then hopefully if you have like your coin routine set up around like 10 to 15 minutes, and we can talk, so you can be one of my performer.
Wow, great.
Yeah,
That'd be
because we
amazing.
don't
I'd love to.
because until today we haven't got any close-up magician that doing coins or like specifically on cards.
Wow.
Maybe, yeah.
I
Why
would
not?
love to. I would love to.
Why not? Yeah. Another question from Faldi. He said, question to Moritz: do you develop more fly based on tree fly, or both are the same trick?
I would say it's like the three fly part is pretty much exactly what Kenner did. I have like a small touch on the move to get the second coin position, but I would say that part is Kenner's. But you know what I really sort of tried to do with MoFly was just like to dress it up nicely with how I get into it, and the parts I do before and the parts I do after. So that was just like my small touches on it, but definitely the middle part is definitely Kenner's.
See, so there's like some part, but maybe it's like you are modified as your own styles. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I never saw it your MoFly.
Oh yeah. I think
that
was like the first video I did that was really that sort of really did well online. So I was very happy about that.
In Instagram?
No, I think that was YouTube.
YouTube.
Video. Yeah, that was like the first place I sort of got like a little bit of attention.
Okay. So, and then another question: when you first time do magic in public, do you ever feel like nervous or something, like you're gonna fail or with your coin magic, or you even get like sweat in the hands?
I do sweat sometimes, which I do now actually. Let me take off my.
Dia keringetan, guys. Nggak apa,
Yes.
Felix. Yeah.
Pretty hot here. Okay. Yeah, but I do get nervous for sure. I think pretty much I haven't really met any performers that I admire that tell me like, oh, I don't really care at all. Because nervousness just shows that you care about what you do, right? It's like you want it to go well. So I'm always a little bit nervous, but I wouldn't say it's at a point where it like keeps me from doing well. But to be honest, like when I am performing, I don't really like it dies down very quickly. I'm like nervous before it starts, but then when I'm out there, it's just like I'm doing my thing. I have cards in my hands and I'm comfortable.
Oh, the one that asking you about your MoFly is he said that, yeah, I'm a big fan of your MoFly.
Oh, thank you, man.
Tell me about Kriot and Simon Black when you are met him. Having fun?
Yes, that was great. I love Simon Black. He's one of my best friends, and even though we live so far apart, but we like talk almost every day, like through video chat and. And we talk so much about magic and we practice so much together. So just like every time I get to see him like in real life and we actually get to hang out together, it's just amazing. And Cried is also a great guy. He's very very passionate about magic and very good. So yeah, I have nothing bad to say about those guys. It's great, and I'm very happy that I get to connect with people who live so far away from me, which is also something that like previous generations didn't have. Right. Yeah. I think it's quite amazing that I get to talk every day with someone who lives in the USA. Like previously we would have had to like email, and even before that, like just letters, right?
Yes. Now it's like this. We do this now.
Yeah.
Although you're far away, now we can have talk.
Exactly. And I'm doing an interview with someone in Indonesia. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just a great opportunity. Yeah. Nothing bad to say about those guys. Love them both.
Yeah, I still remember I first met Simon was when I was in LA, and after that, I think he fly back to, I don't know, is it Italy?
Yeah, maybe he's in Italy a lot, but he lives in Chicago I think maybe that's
Yeah.
where I went.
And then after that, I never saw him on his social media. I mean, his Instagram. I think he's not posting a new post right now, or he is.
I don't think he's posting that much right now.
Yeah.
But I'm also not posting so much right now. I think it's just because we both focus a lot more on like live presentations right now. And I feel like when you just like focus on routining and other aspects of magic besides like very visual techniques,
Yeah.
I think you quickly sort of like run out of stuff to do on social media, because I don't want to, now that I used to just like love demonstrating like moves for other magicians, but now I feel it has come to a point where there are a lot of laymen also following me on Instagram, and I don't want them to see videos where they're like, nothing happened. What was that? Yeah. And I had one video like that where I do a false shuffle on my Instagram, and some magicians were like, wow, that's crazy. And laymen were like, wow, so nice how you shuffle. It's like very
they don't understand. Yeah. And there's a time when I also remember that you post like the slowest pass, like you put it in the middle and then suddenly it comes to the top.
Yeah.
And then I show it to my friend and layman, and he's like, I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, because in magic it's always very important to like cancel out every method someone could think of, right? It's like what Quantum talks about in his book The Magic Way. They just like canceling out different methods, and that is really not possible via a video, really, because you can't touch, you can't really make sure nothing is wrong with anything. I think I don't think what we can do on social media is really magic, to be honest. I think that's just like I think that's just sort of entertainment, and it's like, oh, it's confusing, and it's like, oh, you don't know how it's done, it's nice, but I don't think that it's like magic as I see it. I don't think that's like, oh my God, I did everything and nothing, he didn't do anything and it still happened. So I just basically see Instagram as sort of like a very, very small part of what I do. It's just like sometimes when I have an idea that I think people might find interesting, I just post it, but it's not really such a big deal to me.
Yeah, because for some magicians, they choose not to showing it on social media or on YouTube because not all the people are enjoying it, but some of them are thinking that it's a puzzle that they have to solve.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that can be different when you actually interact with someone, when you're like friendly and it's entertaining and you're funny, and it's like, I think you quickly like lose that, oh my God, how, it's like it quickly just like becomes a cool experience rather than like a puzzle for them to figure out. But that's hard to convey also via video. So so I don't do that much on social media anymore. But that's just oh, by the way, when I talked with Simon about doing the interview with you, he told me that that your girlfriend fooled him with a card trick.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. He said he was completely fooled. He had no idea.
My wife actually, I mean, she's my wife. I mean, when I bring her to Magic Castle, and then Sarah showing Simon magic. I don't know. I don't know. Well, maybe I didn't realize about the cards that Simon do or my wife did to Simon, because I think me and the other guys are talking, and then Sarah was doing magic with Simon.
Great.
If you're texting him right now or like after this, just say hi from me and also my wife.
Will do. So does your wife do magic as well?
My wife, yes, my wife.
Great.
My wife, but she's not doing magic, but she just loves to get entertained by magic.
Oh, okay. But she's very interested in it. And I think that's very cool. I always love when people who spend a lot of time around magicians, when they can do one trick, because I find it very interesting what trick they choose, right? Because they saw so much magic, like amazing, and then when they say like, oh, I would like, can I learn that one? I just think I like one trick and I would learn that one. I think that feedback is always very, very interesting. Like what trick they would like to do after being exposed to so much magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like the feedback from like magicians, like wives or partners or husbands, or like daughters or sons, I think that's like the most important feedback. I think it will be very interesting if we could have a magic competition that's just judged by magicians' wives.
Families.
Yes,
well, to be honest, I have a video. I have a video of in my YouTube. So the video itself is about like the expression of my wife. So the title itself, but in Indonesia, in my language, the title itself is about like Sarah's reaction. So I put like a hidden cam, and I try, because sometimes when I have an idea, the first try that I want to show it is to her, because I cannot show it to other people, because other people will be like, oh, I can see this, I can see that, blah blah blah. But if I show it to my wife, she's gonna be like very honest, giving me an input, and then her reaction is honest also. So I think maybe it's kind of cool if I just make a video of her reaction. So I did try, and then show her some tricks, and then her reaction sometimes she's like, it's good. Because mostly my wife know the process, so doesn't amaze her a lot.
But that's amazing. Yeah, and that's why I think like the feedback is so important, because they have seen so much magic, like so much, but they don't do it themselves, or like they don't do it a lot. And I think that's very important, because oftentimes when we judge other magicians, we're always biased because of what we do ourselves, right? When we see someone do interesting ways, we're like, oh, I like my version better. It's like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
But they don't care about your version. They don't care. They haven't worked on this stuff as well. They just see it for what it is. But they have been exposed to a lot. And that's always, I think, the line you need to walk, because some people say, oh, I just care about the audience. I just care about the people who come to my theater. But they haven't seen a lot of magic. So their feedback is valuable, but I think that feedback from people who have seen a lot of magic, who can really compare it to other things, that feedback is just like the most valuable you can get.
Yeah, agree. Totally agree. And this guy said in a comment from Felix, I don't know if it's a he or a she, but it said, he's calling my name, Damien. Don't you want to collab with Moritz? Yeah, I'd love to.
Yes, let's do it.
When it's this Corona over, I'd love to.
Yes, let's stay in touch, man.
Yeah, we'll do. I mean, after this, we have to keep in touch. And as my promise before, maybe I'm going to invite you to my shows and become one of the entertainer. Yeah,
that'd be amazing. I would love to.
Okay. So I think I read all the comments, and the last question, not last question, two last questions.
Yes.
I asked this to all the magicians that I got interview. So the first one is, what is magic for you?
I think to me, magic is a hobby. Right? To me, magic is just something I love doing. That I do every single day. That I love reading about. It is not yet a profession for me. I'm not exactly sure how I want to go about that. But I'm very sure I want to like get a degree first. I want to I want to finish university and get a degree, and then maybe also work as a psychologist. But then, the future is always open. I can always then still say I would like to maybe do magic full time. But right now it's just a hobby for me.
Oh, hobby. And then the second question is, how do you say, can you just like magic in 3 words for you?
Okay, impossibility is number 1, because that's like the prerequisite for magic, right? That's like the number 1 thing that needs to happen. surprising.
Surprise.
I think that's also something that that's important. Like if you do only very straight effects, like I will find your card and it will jump out of the pack. Boop, there it is. And like always that, I think it can get boring after a while. So I think that like it's important that it like sort of like even after you've done a bunch of tricks, it still plays with their expectations.
Yeah.
And then number 3 would be entertaining. Just it should be outside of what you do. It should still be, you should be likable, and it should just be like not necessarily even if it's a show, but just even if it's a close-up situation, it should just be a good time they're spending with you regardless of what you do.
Yeah, because why I'm asking the 3 words about magic is because those 3 words is describing you, how you see magic, because
yes.
it's like a conclusion for you. Magic, it should have like impossibility and have the element surprise, but yet has to be entertained.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So there, guys. Moritz Mueller, one of my favorite guy. Before, one of my favorite kid that's doing magic. Now he's a guy. And then he still amazed me also with card tricks, especially how smooth he control, how smooth he handles a card or a routine. So there you go. Thank you for joining me and Moritz. And thank you for all the question. I hope we can chat another time and talk about magic.
Hopefully. Yeah,
and
thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if there was some question that you want to ask but I didn't get to, you can just my Instagram is Moritz Mueller with UE and then 00. You can just shoot me a message there if you want, and I will do my best to reply if we didn't get to your specific question.
So if you have any question, just go to Moritz Mueller Instagram. It's like Moritz Mueller 00, and please add him. Yeah, follow him on Instagram.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, my friend. Please do keep in touch. Okay.
Yes, let's do.
Okay, and let's talk about it on direct message. Okay.
Before we go, can I take a quick picture?
Yeah, of course.
Doing it on my. Okay. Boop. Perfect. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much, bro. Okay.
See you soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Oke guys, tadi Moritz Mueller. Semoga kalian semua yang tadi, terutama pesulap yang kemarin sempat ngobrol-ngobrol sama gue soal koin, semoga kalian bisa belajar. Kalau misalnya pengen lebih lanjut lagi, bisa nanya-nanya lewat DM, karena di sini kita tidak bisa terlalu vulgar ya, karena banyak juga yang nonton. Pesulap-pesulap juga ada, dan juga non-pesulap juga ada. Jadi tadi gue pengen banyak banget nanya, cuman tidak bisa terlalu vulgar. Semoga bisa sedikit memberikan kalian input tentang bagaimana pemikiran dia. Seperti kalian bisa lihat tadi, dia sekarang bahkan sudah pelan-pelan belajar tentang kartu. Dia memang dulu fokusnya di koin karena membuat dia tertarik aja. Dan kenapa tadi gue sempat tanya-nanya juga, kenapa dia memilih koin? Ternyata ya memang pada saat itu dia suka aja. There's no particular reason why dia benar-benar memilih koin. Terus tadi juga semoga teman-teman di sini yang suka koin tadi bisa belajar dari referensi buku-buku yang dia kasih. Jadi kalau misalnya mau tinggal track back, lihat lagi ke belakang buku-bukunya apa aja. Habis ini akan gue post ini semua di sosial media, di YouTube. Kalian bisa cari, search di Google buku-bukunya dan bisa beli. Menurut gue itu buku-buku sakti semua sih untuk kalian yang benar-benar pengen mendalami dunia koin. Gue juga tahu, gue juga punya, tapi beberapa tidak selesai gue baca. Salah satunya yang gue punya itu adalah Totally Out of Control by Chris Kenner. Itu juga bagus untuk koinnya, terutama Trifly-nya. Gue suka banget. Oke, jadi thank you so much for joining. Nanti kalau bisa tolong tulis di komen, bukan di komen yang live ya. Tulis di komen bawah, kira-kira siapa lagi yang mau gue undang. Dan hari Senin gue akan mengundang Jeremy lagi. Kita mau bicara tentang hal-hal yang tidak diketahui oleh pesulap. Kemarin kan The Saddest Truth baru dibahas sedikit, nanti kita mau lebih dalam lagi, dan ada hal-hal yang lebih mengagetkan ketika Kita bicara soal apa yang terjadi, fenomena yang sekarang di mana ada YouTuber-YouTuber yang membuka rahasianya di YouTube dengan alasan dia mengajarkan supaya seni sulap bisa lebih maju. Kita akan bahas itu, dan sekalian juga kita juga tahu betapa beratnya untuk memiliki tanggung jawab ketika kita sudah memutuskan menjadi profesional. Dan apa yang perlu dilakukan sebagai seorang hobi untuk pengen profesional. Hal-hal seperti itu. Dan sekali lagi juga kita akan ngebahas apa yang perlu kita lakukan apabila ternyata corona ini harus bertahan selama setahun 2 tahun ke depan. Gitu. Bakalan seru sih, karena Jeremy juga orangnya enak seperti kalian tahu. Jadi mungkin kita akan bahas lagi nanti hari Senin, jamnya masih dalam proses, cuman setidaknya kurang lebih akan sama. Karena kemarin itu kasihan banget ketika gue live jam 8 itu Jeremy harus standby jam 6 pagi. Jadi kayaknya gue akan mulai agak malam. Kita akan mulai jam 10. Kalian keberatan nggak? Jam 10. Nanti gue akan bikin polling. Soalnya kasihan juga, Jeremy itu kan kita sama di Indonesia sama di LA beda 14 jam. Kita lebih maju 14 jam. Jadi kalau misalnya di kayak kemarin tuh jam 8 kita mulai, di Amerikanya jam 6 di LA-nya. Kasihan banget dia harus bangun pagi. Jadi gue akan ubah jadi jam 10 supaya dia nggak terlalu bangun pagi. Kita mulai jam 8 di jam media. Semoga kalian sih setuju ya dengan jam 8 ya. Emang kalau terlalu malam, ya mau nggak mau gue akan balikin lagi ke jam 8. Gitu. Wih, ada Diga. Bagusan malam. Oke, siap. Nanti kita bikin malam jam 10. Oke, ya berarti ya jam 10 ya. Oke lah kalau gitu guys. Thank you for joining me. Sampai ketemu nanti di Magic Corner selanjutnya ya. Kalau misalnya ada ide-ide tulis di komen bawah. Beberapa juga ada yang sempat tadi bilang katanya sepi. Oh, kalau gue justru senang sepi karena gue lebih bebas ngomongnya dan lebih fokus kepada pesulap-pesulap. Gitu. Oh, ini ada yang lucu nih. Ada komentar dari Juan Faral. Dia bilang, Moritz orang yang bikin gue pindah dari kartu ke koin. Nah sekarang Moritznya pindah dari koin ke kartu. Jadi selamat, kamu harus balik lagi ke kartu. Oke, thank you so much guys. Sampai ketemu di Magic Corner hari Senin. Bye-bye.